Hey everyone and welcome back. So I know this is pretty long lab. I mean, we already had 3 videos and we're still continuing, and this is the 4th video, but believe that everything whatever you're learning is actually very useful. I mean, I don't think you'll actually learn what happens when 2 body tags are there in a HTML document in other videos. I'm pretty not sure if it is already there. But yeah, so I mean, the goal whenever I try to make a video is just that more than solving at the lab, it should be that everyone has to learn something out of it, so that I actually show my procedure of how I find the XSS instead of just showing the solution to the lab. In that way people will learn what exactly, I mean, how exactly we are finding that payload rather than simply solving the lab. So yeah, I mean, I know there are 3, I mean, this is a 4 video series and all for this one lab, but believe me, trust me, whatever you're learning, it will be worth it when you actually continue in your bug bounty journey. So let us continue, and this should be the final video. So in the last 3 videos we saw that so these were the 2 events. We finally, okay, I think I closed the Visual Studio. Okay, we had 2 events, right? What are those? Yeah, on before input is the one and on resize is the one. Now if you see the lab note, right, so here it says that we must not require any user interaction. I mean, when we used on resize, you can clearly see that we had to change the window size. I mean, say that this is the lab, right? So this is our entire exploit, right? Now if I send this to a victim, if I send him this link and he opened this link and hit enter, nothing will happen on his side automatically, right? Somehow he has to change this window size, and if he changes the window size, only then our JavaScript code will be executed, otherwise it won't be executed. And the same thing with other event as well. So this is the event, so copy and say that this is sent to victim's browser, right? So this one, body on resize, no, this one, yeah, on before input. And if this exploit is sent to victim, if this link is sent to victim, say that this is victim's browser. Now nothing happens again. The alert box only pops up when user starts to type in something in the search box, right? So if I type, only then the JavaScript code, that is the alert box, will be executed, otherwise nothing happens. But to solve this lab, we need to somehow send a link to a victim, and the exploit should run automatically. I mean, it should be executed automatically without any user interaction. For that, what we can use is, we can use something called as an iframe, right? Let me actually tell you how you can use that. But first of all, which of these 2 are we using? On before input or on resize? So here I'm using on resize. The reason is because iframe has a property to change its size, right? So that is why this will work with iframe, but I don't think on before input will work. I'm not pretty sure, but I think it should not be possible. But on resize will work because iframe has a property to change its size, and whenever the size changes, our JavaScript will be executed automatically. So let me actually remove this on before input and use only on resize. On resize, awesome. Now let me actually show you how the iframe works. I'll create an iframe, right? So iframe with the source code of our labs exploit. So this on resize exploit, not this one, go back. So this is our exploit, right? So I'll copy this entire path. So copy this and paste it in the source, and that's it. Close the tag, right? And save this. So let me just remove this and save this in a HTML file, right? So I'll save this in a HTML file with the name, yeah, test.html. So test.html and save this. And yes, that's it. And now let me open that test.html file. So that is right here, right? Now if I open this, you can clearly see that there is an iframe, right? And inside this iframe, this particular thing is loaded, that is our exploit. But nothing happens. I mean, nothing yet happens, and that is because no resize of the window has happened. I mean, our exploit will only work if we do resize of the window, right? That is this iframe. But we didn't yet change. So in order to actually automatically change the size of the iframe, what we can do is we can add one more property called as width. And that is by saying this dot, when I say this is nothing but the iframe, right? So iframe, this dot style. So style, that is iframe style dot width. So the window width is equals to, we can say that it should be like 500 pixel, right? And this should only happen, I mean, this style dot width is equals to 500. This should only happen when the iframe completely loads, right? On load is equals to. So let me tell you what is happening here. So this iframe will load this source initially, and once it completely loads, right, this onload will get triggered automatically, which will ultimately change the width of the iframe. Got it? And when the width of the iframe changes, this gets executed. That is the alert box. Got it? So let us actually try that. So let me just save this and reload the page. And you can see that the alert box is popped up. I hope you got this. If you didn't understand this, let me tell that you one last time. Okay. Now we have the iframe, right? Okay, let me just reload that without onload, right? Cut this. Now save this and reload the page. And now this is a window. Okay. This iframe is actually a window. Inside that we have this exploit URL, right? Exploit page, correct? But the alert box inside that will not pop up because the window size for that website is not yet changed. And the window is nothing but the iframe here for that website because it is inside the iframe. Now the alert box will only be executed if the iframe size is changed, correct? And in order to change that, we use something called as onload, correct? Which will change the size of the iframe. So save it, reload that, and once it changes, you will get the pop-up box, and there you go. Here I want to tell you an important thing, and that is inside an iframe nowadays Chrome is actually blocking the alert function. Okay, in order to create a POC for XSS inside an iframe, always try to use print instead of alert, because the recent browsers of Chrome are actually blocking alert and prompt whenever they are executed inside an iframe. Okay, so here I'll change this and create I'll replace this with print. And that is the reason, if you see the lab as well, right? If you see the lab description as well, they ask you to use print but not alert, because iframes can't, alert inside an iframe and prompt inside an iframe cannot be used. Google Chrome will block that. So this is our entire exploit. And one final time, let me actually explain that to you again, because this is actually important. So we have an iframe. Say that this is our exploit URL. Okay, so copy this, say that this is our exploit URL and this is our victim's browser. Awesome. Now if victim had pasted this and hit enter, right, nothing happens. The exploit will not be executed automatically unless he reloads the page, right? Unless he reloads the page, only then the print function is executed. But initially when he just pastes this, right, when he just pastes this, nothing will happen. So we have to find a way to somehow automatically change the size of his browser. But as we can't change the size of his browser, at least what we can do is we can change the size of his iframe, right? Because iframe can be controlled by us. So that is the reason we created an iframe with that URL and change the size of it. And we will send this entire iframe, in some HTML document, or somehow we'll actually deliver this to the victim, so that once he opened that HTML document, this particular HTML document, right? This one. Once he actually runs this HTML document, this will be executed automatically. Got it? Awesome. And if you have any doubts, I'll actually create a Discord server where you can actually directly ask me. If you have any doubts in the lab or etc., you can directly contact me in the Discord server. So I'll create that, or I'll create a Slack channel, because it's actually very important. We can actually create a community there. Okay, I have talked a lot, and this has been 4 videos, I know, and thanks for all your patience. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. So actually, okay, let us actually solve the lab, right? So let me actually copy this and go to this one, and lab, this is the lab. So exploit server, and I hope this works. Okay, let me just come back here, exploit this, deliver this to victim, and this should work. Let us wait. Yeah, and there you go, you saw the lab. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any doubt, I'll link a Discord or a Slack channel below this video. You can directly contact me there if you have any doubts, and we can actually create a community, right? And I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe. See ya.